have left, and I was right. He hasn't left. He's here. So he's still with his kill, and there's mass confusion, I think, as to what's actually been happening. But it sounds like Tingana made the kill. He's on that side. Hosana is still here, which is really good news for us. I was convinced that he was still here when we drove around this morning, given the fact that there was this carcass in the tree and the water buck around. And Hosana, if you just walk to the water now, you're going to score yourself a meal. Don't be silly now, boy. He's obviously been hiding out, kind of taking it easy. Now, that meal's not going to be very nice. There's a fresh water buck, Hosana. No, he's not listening to me. He's going to eat his old impala instead. But at this stage, he should be okay. I mean, there's no hyenas around. He should be able to find that water buck without any issues whatsoever, and if he finds it, he'll have a good feed. The problem is that thing is way too heavy for Hosana to tree. He won't get that right at all, and he unfortunately will probably lose it to whatever is around. Now, it depends on how many vultures arrive here, depends on if the lions get in here, but if he doesn't hoist it, he's going to most certainly lose it tonight to all of those hyenas. And even if he does hoist it, if the lions come along, they'll most definitely probably steal it as well. So he's on a bit of a hiding to nothing, but he can get a really nice feed on some nice fresh meat over the course of the next little bit if he's clever about it. You can hear the squirrels are shouting. They're very upset that Hosana is back here, but I'm very glad that our intuition paid off. Roshni, you say yes, he's got a fine palate and that he prefers the lazy aged meat rather than, you know, the fresh stuff that's just been killed. Lazy aged is what he likes to go after, except the problem is this lazy aged smells as though it's been gone foul a few months ago. That's how stinky it is. And so Hosana, like I say, if you just finish your kill and you go for water, you're going to find yourself a much better present than what you've got inside your tree there. But you can still see there's quite a bit there. I mean, there's more than enough to keep him here. And that's why I was so surprised this morning when we were talking about, or when I heard that Hosana was in camp, because, you know, I just thought to myself, why would he leave all of this? I have a funny feeling that Hosana was on the ground, the wild dogs came, chased him, it rained, he had hyenas all around, and so he just found himself a little sort of secluded spot just to get under and sleep and take it very easy. And now everything's calmed down in this area. He's now kind of finding himself moving around a little bit and actually doing his thing. But I'm glad that we persevered around the dam. It's paid off for us. We've had leopard, lions, and wild dogs and hyenas all at Buffelshoek Dam, well, pretty much around Buffelshoek Dam this morning, which has been quite something. So it's been a very productive little spot over the last 3 drives, and I'm glad that I was thinking to myself, I've really misread animals badly this morning, because everything seems to not be where I thought it would be. But with him, at least, you know, one thing is constant, and that his love for food will far outweigh his fear of everything else, and eventually he'll come back to his carcass. Now he's looking down that area. I wonder if he'll come down and head there just now. Lexi, obviously difficult to know exactly because we only found it when it was already half eaten, but he obviously yesterday, and I think it was from the day before, I would have called that it was killed in the morning, or so what was that, 2 mornings ago? No, 3 mornings ago, I think, is when it was killed. And then he fed off it through the day, because when we found him the night before last, he was on this Buffelshoek Dam wall, and that was on a little bumble that we did, and on Monday evening, and he was full and panting on the dam wall. So I have a funny feeling he killed it during either the morning or during the day, and then he had eaten some of it and had hoisted it, and then he was just resting on the dam wall. And so 3 days old, which is about right. I mean, you find generally when they kill big impalas like this, it normally lasts them, 3 to 4 days, depending on how kind of hungry they were going into this meal, which we know Hosana is never really ever very hungry. He seems to be able to always have a meal somewhere up his sleeve and not shy to eat anything that he can find. But it does smell, I can promise you that. It's not a pleasant smell at all. Right, now, from one sausage who is, well, filling up the sausage casing, let's send you across to the other sausage, his dad, and see what he's up to.